So you may have heard that we've undergone a bit of a brand split here at WhatCulture Towers. Yes, in terms of ups and downs, Simon Miller will now be taking over for Raw, which leaves me, sorry Kenny, to be in charge of SmackDown. Now this is an incredibly promising venture for myself because even though all my favourite wrestlers are over on Raw, like, you know, your Rollinses, you know, your Sasha Bankses, Enzo and Cass, really charismatic guys. You've got, you know, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. All those guys are on Raw, but SmackDown should be good. We've got AJ, we've got John Cena. It's going to be good. Promise. And as Simon pointed out on Twitter, we should also be looking for our respective GMs. So stay tuned at the end of the video, and I might throw in a little interview with a prospective general manager. So without further ado, let's crack on with all the ups and all the downs from this week's WWE SmackDown Live. Let's get the ups on to get on the down. Let's all down, up and down, down, up. First off, we start with the central feud of this week's episode of SmackDown Live, Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler, and both men put on a promo masterclass. Really watch that promo if you hadn't yet. Ziggler immediately reaffirmed himself as a main eventer. Dean Ambrose was a little bit heelish in a way. He was a bit condescending towards Dolph. Both of them made really good points, really good assaults on each other's character. In every single respect, this is an up. Now, just as I was saying that Dolph Ziggler has established himself immediately as a top of the card level talent once again, Bray Wyatt has also shot back into contention with an assault on Dolph Ziggler, made himself look immediately more dangerous again than he has been for the past sort of 6 months or whatever. It's been a long time since we've seen Bray Wyatt actually treat like a threat. And yeah, even though he wasn't successful in the main event of the show, it really does bode well for him as well, and Eric Rowan by association, so that's an up too. Now we get to the triple threat #1 contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship between Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin and Kalisto. I'm going to just make this one an up, just about. I wasn't really sure. They probably weren't the three guys I'd have chosen, but then again, SmackDown's roster isn't that deep. And I think it was probably the right call to have Apollo Crews go over. He'll go on to face The Miz at SummerSlam. A big criticism of Apollo's has been that he doesn't really have much personality, he doesn't really have too strong a gimmick, but if anyone can drag that personality out of him, it's going to be The Miz. So just about going to make that an up as well. 3-0. Now we get on to our fourth point, and I bet you think this is going to be a down. I'm actually going to make an up. Eva Marie's non-match against Becky Lynch, where she came out, made a very grandiose entrance. She was all full of herself. She had that hilarious voiceover going on behind the theme tune. She got on the top rope, posed for the crowd, got back down and injured her leg. Legit. Now this is the absolutely perfect direction to take Eva Marie in, and it's sort of what we expected WWE to do with Roman Reigns when the crowd refused to accept him. They should probably have incorporated elements of what they're doing now into Roman's push. Thankfully, someone's convinced somebody to let WWE acknowledge that Eva Marie is a heel in babyface's clothing, and just let the crowd hate her as much as they want. This is definitely an up. We didn't get a match, but it's definitely an up. Now we get to the tag match between two former NXT tag teams, American Alpha and the Vaudevillains. And first of all, I'm going to give another up. It's been a whitewash so far to American Alpha because they looked great. It's probably the cleanest I've ever seen them hit their finisher. And yeah, this was the perfect way to establish them as the hot, new, exciting tag team on the main roster. But on the other side of that match, we get our first down of the show because the Vaudevillains, man, what's happened to them? Just a short while ago, they were feuding with Enzo and Cass for the right to face the New Day for the Tag Team Championships, and since then it's all been downhill. There were, of course, reports of Simon Gotch getting involved in a backstage altercation with Sin Cara. Apparently he got battered. But whatever the real reason or combination of reasons, it's been a sort of downhill journey for the Vaudevillains since then. It's not been the best of times for Aiden English and Simon Gotch. Hopefully WWE can help really regain that momentum, but for this week, I'm afraid they're on the receiving end of a down. Next up, we have another promo segment, AJ Styles and John Cena, and I don't know what was in the water at SmackDown this week, but there was some excellent promo work. Cena and AJ really matched Ziggler and Ambrose for their promo. They threw a number of valid shots at each other. AJ Styles came across looking incredibly strong. He challenged Cena to a one-on-one match at SummerSlam. No club, no distractions, mano a mano. Let's all really hope that AJ goes over, because can you imagine the loss of momentum if Cena beep, 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 beep. But it's an up for now, it's an up. Almost done now. Now we move on to Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar's altercation. Oh, can you believe that established Raw superstar Brock Lesnar invaded SmackDown, just as established SmackDown superstar Randy Orton invaded Raw, as if the brands have been going on for years now. It's been 1 week in and everyone's losing their minds that there's been a little bit of sort of cross action. But nevertheless, unless Simon Miller runs in and clocks me now, then I'll not be laughing. But yes, this segment was sort of a necessary up. I'll say it's a necessary up because Lesnar needed to get his heat back after he was RKO'd on Monday night. It wasn't the most compelling segment. You kind of knew what was going to happen. I'll give it an up, but there was a big reason that I couldn't enjoy this segment fully, or all the rest of the show fully, and that was the production. If I could give that 5 down points, I would do, but I'm afraid, as the unwritten rules of ups and downs dictate, I can only give it 1. The camera work was easily the worst thing on this show. It was almost unwatchable. I don't know whose decision it was to do away with the fixed hard camera and have like a, I don't know the technical terms, I'm not one of our editors, but have the shimmying, moving hard cam, and then there were so many cuts. It was like Kevin Dunn was on cocaine this week. You missed the RKO, you missed the impact of the F5 because it cut so quickly. I really hope they sort this out, but I think for the next few months at least, it looks like this is going to be the fresh new direction of SmackDown, and I mean, it's something for me to look forward to every week, isn't it, lads? That's very much a down. But happily, the ups have won this week. They've trounced the downs 7-2. So that's almost all the time we've got here on Ups and Downs. However, I did promise that I'd interview my first candidate to be the Ups and Downs SmackDown General Manager. So, Peter, if you just come on. This is Peter Austin. He's all right.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. You might recognise him if you're a fan of our gaming section. What else do you do here at WhatCulture, Peter?
That's largely it, really.
Now, Peter, what do you think you bring to the table to be? I know that you didn't really apply. I more dragged you out of the what do you think makes you the perfect candidate to be the Ups and Downs SmackDown General Manager? Are you a big wrestling fan?
Well, there's a rumour going around that I know nothing at all about wrestling.
Do you just want to tell the viewers what your last name is? Austin.
With an I.
With an I. That's right.
Yeah.
No relation?
To.
Let's just move past that. Let's forget all that. How do you think you're qualified? What are your big strengths for this role?
Well, you need someone who knows the business, right? And I, as I say, contrary to popular belief, I understand it all. I can name all the pros. Dwayne Johnson, Rikishi, Fred Durst. There's so many of them.
Fred Durst?
Yeah, pro wrestler Fred Durst. Have you not heard? Well, he's in WWF SmackDown. Just bring it on the PS2, and you can expect trivia like that at WhatCulture Gaming every day.
Thanks, Peter. That's all we've got time for on Ups and Downs. Let us know what you thought of Peter, whether he'd be a worthy general manager. I've been Jack from WhatCulture.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Jack_the_jobber. Where can we find you?
At that Peter Austin.
At that Peter Austin. Mm-hmm. See you soon.
Remember when WhatCulture did a magazine called Wrestling? We're doing another one called Wrestling. Issue 2 will feature a career retrospective on Brock Lesnar and an interview with Paul Heyman. It'll feature another How WWE Should Have book written by this sexual modern stallion. There'll be all the usual top quality articles and artwork, as well as a top 50 list of the greatest SummerSlam moments of all time. Like last time, you can pre-order and buy your own copy in the link below at shop.whatculture.com. Order now to enjoy issue 2 of Wrestling.